Hi everyone! Thank you so much for stopping by! Hi! How's everybody doing? How are you doing? Hello Nader! Hello, welcome in on YouTube! Hello Sebastian! Big everyone! I see! Thank you for resubscribing! VaxerCon, good to see you! Nya nya! Whoa! What are we doing today? We're gonna be doing an art stream today! That's right, more art streaming! We are going to finish the picture we were working on last time. And I think that'll be it. That'll be it. What about you? What are you all doing today, huh? What have you been doing? Have you been staying busy, Storybuds? Have you? Oh, you're trying to redo the rendering for one of your pictures using this art style. Really? You're joining me? It's hard, right? It's hard. I've been working on it a little bit. Yeah, the elusive stream that you missed. Don't worry, I'll catch you up. It's hard, right? It really requires that you like pay really close attention to your colors. Same here. It's definitely showing me that like I have a lot to learn when it comes to coloring. People used to compliment me a lot on my colors, but this is showing me that I have a lot I need to grow in. Hang on, I'll go sit in the corner, okay? Also, I haven't decided if I want to... There we go. A bit bigger. You did a monochrome filter on your art and it's pretty bad. Oh, yeah! I'm worried about... Actually, you know what? We should do that right now and look at this picture with monochrome. Hang on. Me. Nope. Nope. Oh, it's me. It's little Fia. How does this look if we just put it... If we just turn the saturation 100% down? Interesting. Interesting! Ha! I'm noticing a few things. I'll worry about those later. It's really awesome. I wonder if they credit like which artists are doing which pieces. Mine looks pretty unintelligible. I'm scared to look at what mine's like. I'm scared to look at what mine's like. Oh, hang on. Hang on, I have a PNG of it, that's faster. Yeah, mine needs some work too. I think a big thing that'll help with mine is if I put like a little bit of a screen in the background. So this is what I have so far, and this is what we ended on. So this was our practice. This was our practice piece. When I was just like blocking out the colors and trying to understand how it worked. And after I did this, I realized that I think that part of what makes these colors pop so much is the contrast between these blue colors and then these like reddish yellow shades. So I tried to add just a really lazy background. I didn't want to go too crazy with the background because I don't want to lose the plot too much. You know, I'm here to learn a coloring style and not to overdo it with background details. So I just did like a simple cityscape using some techniques that I learned from an Ina stream. And I think that today on stream, I'm gonna focus on rendering the character. You overdid the darks. I'm worried that I'm too light. That's kind of what I'm noticing about my colors. They might be too light. I did this filter at the end, which is like an extra blue blurred. Maybe I'll add a quick layer of white, and I'm just gonna put it down to like 19 opacity. But yeah, this is my project today. I'm gonna try my very best to do this. Social anxiety, hello, welcome, and how are you doing? We're gonna do our very best to get this done today. I also think I want to make the line art purple. Hang on. That was another thought I had. A little bit too late. Make the line art a little bit more purple. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I'm very intimidated by what I'm about to do. This has had me really anxious all week. So I think it's time that we just do it. We just do it. So I'm gonna add this over top the soft light. And I'm gonna think for a second. So I have a purple here, and they do more of a blue for the black color, but I think that I'm gonna start by applying just the purple and see what happens. Let's see, the shadow is darker. The shadow on the dark stuff is darker. The dark shadow is darker. Dark, dark, dark. Let's try starting there. You do art by brute force. I need to get better about drawing more frequently. I want to be doing like painting streams as well. I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking I might try to take some painting classes in the city if I can. I'm still torn. It's something that Mama Rosie wants to do with me. She wants to go take painting lessons. I'm just nervous because I'm gonna... I guess I don't really seem outgoing on stream, right? You can all tell that I'm an introvert, right? Lynn, hello! Welcome in! How does it feel to almost be old? Everyone, Lynn's birthday is coming up! I have a present for you. Hehehe. We are back to trying to draw this Pro Sekai card. I see a lot of time when artists on YouTube do these like color studies, like what we're doing right now. They will often just completely replicate the picture that they're trying to study. Like they copy the line art and they copy all the colors and they just try to figure out how they can replicate it 100%. I'm kind of feeling like that's what we probably should have done. We probably should have just redrawn the Honomi card and copied all the colors and like really sat down and studied it. You know, like get a normal picture of Honomi and like study the difference. But it's too late. We're drawing Sato instead. But maybe we'll do that for like that blue Saki card I showed you. Maybe we'll just do a complete redraw for that one. I see the value in like completely copying, because then you're not having to make like new choices, you know? Like, I think that's one thing that we struggled with, is that we had to understand the choices made in the Honami card, but we also had to understand them and simultaneously apply them to a new piece, which I think muddles your ability to understand it a little bit. I think it's better now that I've seen those videos and like thought about it. I'm like, maybe it is better to just one-on-one, like one-to-one copy. Yeah, we could probably just use the line art as well. So maybe I'll try to make line art of the Saki card for our next class. And I call it a class, like we're all here learning together. But I can put the line art in the Discord so y'all can use it too. People do art studies who say that... Well, the thing about copying for an art study... we're particularly doing a coloring study. So the reason why, if you want to learn how to color this, you would do a coloring study, is because you would get the line art for this, and then you would probably apply Honami's normal colors, and you would have to like try to figure out how this happened. You'll be trying to figure out how this happened. Like, what filters do we apply? How does the color palette work? Comparing the palette of that color to Honami's normal color palette. Applying different filters and stuff. It really depends on how you're learning by copying. I think some people approach it in... The way you do not learn by copying is by taking that Honami picture and then just color picking it. That is not how you learn by copying. You wouldn't color pick it. Because you're not gonna learn by color picking. That's copying, not learning. They're slightly different. There's copy learning and then there's just copying. Hello, T-Bone! How are you doing? Welcome in! Oh, that somehow reminds me. This is our first stream since... the Inku reveal. What do you all think? You like Inku? Okay. I know that she's very different from my current design. She's her color palette is quite different. I'm no longer a brunette. Thank you, I'm doing well. What about you? Good to see you. I'm glad that you all like Inku so far. I'm hiding what's under her hat until tomorrow or maybe Friday. I haven't decided yet. Under her hat and under her eye mask. Hiding it for a little bit longer because I don't want to scare anyone. I'm afraid of the story about being scared by what they see under her eye mask and under her hat. I also noticed that I put some little nods to Sofiya in Inku's design. I hope that that helps a little bit with like the transition from one to the other. I tried to find little ways to reference my current design. Like my hairstyle is still there, and my braids and my bows. And my belt is no longer a tail. It's now on my hat. Yeah, do you guys like bows? We got bows. We got bows, we got bows, we got belts. And there are a couple more references to some other characters as well that I hope that you will notice when the hat comes off and the eye mask comes off. But I wanted it to be such that it would not be an unpleasant change. It would still be kind of familiar. So I guess we'll see if that worked or not. We'll see how well that worked, huh? Alright, we're doing a little bit more shading over here. But I'm quite excited. I'm also, I know that Inku has not... If we could use the throwing system to hit the inside of my clothes, does the item disappear into the void? Yes! Yes, if you throw something into Inku's clothes, they will go into the void, so be careful. Don't throw things at me. Inku will eat them. Her clothes will eat them. You'll never see them again! You'll never see them again, so be careful. Yeah, careful when you guys use TTS. What was it? The Twitch throwing system. We haven't used that in a while, have we? I should reinstall it. It's probably been updated immensely. I think though it really worked best when I was a 3D model, right? I don't remember. Did I use it? I used it when I was a 2D model, didn't I? I've actually completely forgotten how it worked. It's been so long. I think we stopped using it after I got concussed by 20 bicycles. I got scared of it. It was a live 2D thing? Interesting! I totally forget how I set it up. I should do it again. I'll have to look it up again. It was fun. I just got pelted by 20 bicycles. No, it wasn't 20. It was like 200, right? Oh my gosh, that was a crazy new year. I still can't... That was so long ago. I can't believe that. Wow. Now I'm feeling old. What have we done? Okay, I think that the problem I'm having here is that... I think I do need to make this shirt color more of a blue. So hang on. Let me open up the painting. Oh my god! I don't know anymore. I'm very torn. I don't know anymore. I don't know, cause her color is like almost green. I think I'll go with this shade. Hang on, I'm gonna change them all. We're committed. Committed to the bit. Ah! That was terrifying. I need to find her collar level. Here, this one. Imagine if I labeled my layers, how much easier that would have been. Dono, hello! Welcome in! Thank you for being here! Yeah, it's art stream! Hydrate, thank you, I will do that. Bum 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 bum. It's still not 100%. What is this? There's some effect happening here that's changing the line art to purple. Not hard light, not overlay. I think it might be soft light. Let me try some things. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna just keep going. I'm beginning to think though that it might have been a mistake to make the black colors more blue. No, I don't want a tonal curve right now. I wanted to do a correction layer. So I can keep checking the saturation. Okay, I'll continue with what I have for now. Amelia! Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you! Bum 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 bum. Ah! Thank you for your 7 streak! Thank you! Thank you! I appreciate it! Thank you for always being here! I hope things have been going well. Hope you've been having a good day. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 ba da ba bum. Bum 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 ba da ba bum. Can you all hear the music okay, by the way? I'm not just singing into the void, am I? Yay! Dun 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 dun. Yeah, the sea cats are crying. It's always a good day for sea cats. Let's see, what else did I have to talk about? I mean, I've always got stuff to talk about. Oh right! You will probably notice that I'm going to begin uploading content to Inku's channel ahead of her debut. I know that's not normal, but I wanted to kind of get into the flow of making stuff before my debut. Just because I don't know. Because just because there's a lot that I plan to do with Inku. I'm hoping to do more than just streaming. I'm looking forward to being able to do... Well, being able suggests that I couldn't do it now. I'm looking forward to... having my excitement back and making some more pre-recorded content. I've had a lot of fun lately just being behind the microphone and recording things. It can be fun to just record things on your own sometimes, and I think that I kind of forgot that I enjoy just creating sometimes. I'm sorry that she's already posting things, that little sneaky sneaky black hole girl, but I hope that you'll enjoy it. I hope that you'll enjoy all the stuff that I've been posting. There's plenty more to come. And I'm very excited about all of our streams in the future as well. Oh, the future is gonna be so good. Unfortunately, the fact that I'm so focused on Inku's debut means that I won't be competing in the off-kai Irium competition, so I'm sorry about that. I know that that was something that some of you were asking me about, whether or not I would be doing anything for that. I don't think I have time. I don't have time to come up with cool rewards and do a debut at the same time. I'm just not good enough. Oh. But because I'm not going to be competing in that, I'll have more time and energy to make the debut really special. It feels weird calling it a debut because I've already debuted, you know? I don't know. I guess rebrand, it just doesn't have the same ring to it, you know? Just calling it a rebranding doesn't have the same ring to it. So I've been using debut. Oh wow, it's not like the debut police are gonna come for me, right? If they do, if you guys don't see me tomorrow for my stream tomorrow, it means that the debut police came to me. And they're like, hey, what were you doing? What are you doing calling this a debut to your chat? It's not a debut. We now have to take you to debut jail. Well, if you don't hear from me, I'm in debut jail. But they can't take the debut prep out of rebranding, so I don't know. I will continue rebranding even if I'm in debut jail. It will not be stopped. Cannot stop, will not stop. Huh. This is an accident, but this is actually the shade of pink that is used to render the pink in Honami's drawing, so I think I'm doing something correct here. Something has gone right by accident. I have succeeded. I think that the color could be a little bit darker. But the overlay does seem to be kind of on track. I'm kind of on track here. And that's shading with purple, which makes sense. That's what we kind of figured last time, was that there was purple in the rendering process for the shadows. So far, that's still adding up, which is good. Every time that I bring the Umineko music into stream, I'm reminded that they really need their money right now. And we've been denying them their money right now for like a couple of years now. And we should really stream Umineko no Nakokoroni soon. I was thinking that for the prologue, I might pre-record myself reading that, so we don't have to go through it again, and then we'll start again from the start of chapter 1. I need to find people who will stream it with me though, because we need... It's important. It's the kind of art that Gala makes the cringe take. Huh? I don't understand, you'll have to try again. Anyway. I'm thinking I need some more people to stream it with though, because it's very important that we have the spoiler-free chat, you know? We need to have witch chat and we need to have non-witch chat. Because I don't want people who don't know about Umineko to be spoiled, because that ruins the experience. No problem, Victor. How are you doing though? How's it going? We're trying to figure out this coloring style. Thank you! We're trying to figure out how this coloring style works. This one right here. We've been studying this lately. And it seems like part of it is this really saturated shading, and we're trying to figure out like what kind of filters were put on it to make the shading like that. Ooh, yummy! What'd you have for dinner? Good weather? Heck yeah! It's been snowing here. I don't remember what it's like when it's not snowing. It's been snowing non-stop ever since I moved to Canada. It has been snowing non-stop since I moved to Canada. I'm kind of going crazy actually. When I moved here. Hi! Welcome in, Twister! Yeah, sometimes I do art. Sometimes. I haven't done it as much as I should have. I did not draw nearly enough last year. I don't know what was wrong with me, but for some reason I just had a lot of trouble looking at a canvas last year. But it has not stopped snowing since I moved to Canada. When I got here, my neighbors told me that it never snows in this part of Canada. They're like, yeah, no, we really only get like big snowstorms once every like 25 years. And now it's snowing non-stop. It's crazy. The nostalgia! It's really surreal for me because I grew up in Canada, so it's not like I'm a stranger to snow, but I spent the last 10 years or so in California. Where it does not really snow. Snow is not really a thing. So this has been painful. This has been painful for me. I've been suffering. Second winter. I don't like second winter though. It can stop now, please. If second winter would like to not be, I would be happy. I'm going crazy in second winter. It's not looking great. I'm gonna just power through it because my phone is gonna die because it didn't get charged as much as I wanted it to. So I just need to power through this, and when it's done, I can sit down and ask myself what went wrong. But for the moment, I just need to do it, you know? For the moment, I just have to do it. The feeling of putting up the hand and not feel it. You forego the gloves. Yeah! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It was snowing a while ago, right? And I went out for a walk, and my fingers went so numb. I've never been so numb before. My fingers and my toes. It was so bad that I had to interrupt my walking path to go to a coffee shop so I could regain my fingers. Finnick, hello! Welcome in, how are you doing? Good to see you! Yeah, it's like physical exercise. You have to just power through it. Ah! Just do it! Just do it! And once it's done, I'll have a better idea of what went wrong, I think. And there's another day when it snowed so much that everything was just pure white. And I went out and I did not realize. I mean, I've always known that you could be blinded by snow. I've always known that because I've read about it in scientific journals and stuff. I've read about like explorers who go out and they get blinded by the whiteness of the snow. So I always knew that was a thing that sometimes happened. But I didn't realize it could happen to me. You know how sometimes you'll read about something in a big like journal or something and you're like, there's no way that can happen to me though. These things that happen to explorers can't happen to me. I live in the city. So I was really caught off guard when I went out for a walk a couple weeks ago. And everything was pure white. And it was okay at first. And then like, after a few minutes of walking in the pure white snow and not seeing any color or any contrast, my eyes started to hurt. And suddenly I couldn't see very well. And I got really dizzy because it was so disorienting. I didn't know that happened. Yeah, it was scary. What I had to do was I took off my glove and I like held it up in front of me for some contrast to like keep my eyes kind of focused. It was very strange. It was very, very strange. I guess I'm just not used to snow is what I'm saying. Look at you in some manga that looks really good. Simple even. That's why you gotta draw a sketch art yourself. Yeah, for real. I remember one of the manga that really like changed my art feeling. Like art feelings. I'm using great big words today. That really changed the trajectory of my art style was actually Negima. Have you heard of it? It's pretty old. But what really stuck out to me about Negima was that compared to shoujo, where like a lot of the shoujo eyes are like super detailed, and there's like a lot of folds in the clothes and like a lot of details and a lot of tones, the art in Negima had very solid silhouettes. It wasn't simple. It still had a lot of detail to it, but it was very solid shapes. I think you'd have to look at the art to understand what I'm talking about and compare it to shoujo manga. But it really struck me how everything felt very deliberate and simplified. Like, there was no excessive detail. There was just enough detail to get points across. Actually, I was watching an art style video recently about an artist named Yue, who does something kind of similar. Her art looks very, very detailed, but if you break it down, she's actually using very simple... Yeah, magic teacher Negima! The thing about Yue's art is that if you break it down, her illustrations, they look very detailed, but they're actually using very simple shapes. She uses the negative space in her backgrounds to make very detailed background work. Instead of drawing in all the details in her background, she actually focuses on the negative space, like the shadows and the gaps between things. And she lets your brain fill in the other details. Yeah, it's a very good anime. I missed the manga. The manga was very good. I liked it a lot. It was kind of sad how abruptly the manga ended. I couldn't really get into the second series that the author did, UQ Holder. I didn't really get into UQ Holder, unfortunately. But yeah, that really stuck out to me about Yue's art. If I can find the video in my watch history, I'll put it in the Discord. I think you would find it very interesting, Icy, because I know that you like to put a lot of detail into your artwork. And I wonder if you could apply the use of negative space that Yue uses to your art. Ha! Thank you, Twister! I'm doing my best. There's a lot of room for improvement, but we do what we can. You have very little experience with backgrounds. Me as well! I'm scared to do too much background work. It's so hard. But watching the video about Yue made me think it's possible. I was like, oh wow, you mean There's an approachable method to making really nice backgrounds. Yeah, reflective light. I've seen that in some of your art. Reflective light adds so much depth to a picture. I think that's one thing. Can I add stockings? I don't know if she has stockings. I don't think Sato has stockings. She used to have striped stockings. I could put those back on. She used to wear striped stockings. Hang on, I'm gonna finish shading the hair and then I'll look into add in some striped stockings. A wand? She has no room to hold a wand this time, unfortunately. Normally she does have a wand. Let me see if I can find some of my old art of Sato where she has her wand. Let's see. I know I have another sketch of her somewhere. Where's her wand? Here it is. There's a sketch of her with her wand. Alright, let's start adding some of the highlight. So the original uses light blue for the highlight. Hello, picture! What are we doing today? We're finishing up the picture that we started the other day. We are attempting to render it, and it's suffering a little bit. How are you? How are you? How are you? Glad to hear it. Did Monon get Sato Diamond in the end? Do you know? How did Monon's suffering end? Rue, hello! Thank you so much! I'm doing my best with this rendering style. It's very difficult. A slime? Hmm? わからない。ごめん。Let's see. Did any of you get Sato Diamond? Story buds. Thank you, Rue! Thank you, thank you! I'm excited to see how it turns out, because I think that probably what I need to do is just... Well, we've already talked about this. I just need to finish it. And then I can do, like, a review of my progress and figure out what I would fix for next time. I do really like the cool blue highlights, though. Thank you for the hydrate! I will do that. What? Thank you, thank you! Let's see, where was my brain going? Oh, I saw that! They're also adding Mejuro, right? To Musume. And I love her, but I've spent all of my Karos on Sato Diamond. And Sato Diamond did not come home, so I will also not be able to get Mejuro Bright. How cruel of Cygames to release 2 very pretty Umas in a row. It feels like a personal attack on me. I think that there was also a new career mode released for Uma Musume, and people are like getting UG rank Umas, and I'm here like, if I get an A rank Uma, I'm winning. So I'm basically being priced out of competitive Uma Musume by my own inadequacies. Your ball was crying. That is so real. Even though Cygames has been very, very generous with all the free Karos, it's still so dangerous. Because, you know, they give you the free carrots, and then you're like, well, I might as well just go a little bit longer and see if I can get anything. You know, I spent all these free carrots. Maybe it's gonna be on my next pull. Maybe I should spend some money. That crossed my mind when I was pulling for Sato Diamond. I was like, I've done 10 pulls already. Maybe if I just buy the 11th one, it'll be that pull, you know? And I had to stop myself. I was like, you can't. You did your 10 free pulls. Girl, you're done. Girl, you're done. But it was so hard. I really wanted Sato Diamond though, because she's very cute. But you know what's really nice about Uma Musume that I super appreciate? Even when the girl's featured banner is done, she gets put straight into the regular banner pulls. So there's none of that FOMO. You know how some other gacha games have the featured banner and then the featured character just doesn't show up again for like a year? I'm not a fan of that. I think that's really rude. That's such a cool gacha mechanic to force people to pull and spend all their money. Because if they don't, they'll never see the character again. It's like, damn, that's mean. At least Cygames puts most of the characters right back into the regular pulls. I hope that Uma Musume stays that game. Wait, please. Uma Musume, please. I've said something nice about a gacha game. You never got Manhattan Cafe. You wanna know what really sucks, Rue? You know who I pulled? Who came home instead of Sato Diamond? Do you know who I got instead of Sato Diamond? I got Manhattan Cafe. So maybe we can do her story on stream and we can like dote over her and how cute she is. I was really torn about that actually because I had also done 10 pulls on Manhattan Cafe's banner. So when she came home, it's not like I was upset, you know? I was like, oh, you're finally here, I'm so happy. But I was like, dang. Took you long enough. I think that happened with another Uma recently. I think I got, right on... I don't know if it was on my stream account or not, but I got, McQueen's, like, winged outfit. Her pretty alternate. I got that. And I was excited, but I had also been pulling for Sato Diamond. So I was, like, really torn about it. I was like, this is great news for the me of Uma Musume's debut. Because that was the first Uma that I went really hard for. I really wanted McQueen's alternate because I love McQueen. So I'd worked really hard to get... well, work, quote unquote. I tried really hard to get her. And she finally came home a year later, so... I have her. But at what cost? Sato Diamond. The cost was Sato Diamond. But in general, I'm pretty happy with the Umas I have. I'm excited to do more Uma Musume in the future. I don't know when. Right now, my big Uma content that you might have noticed on Inku's channel is I'm starting to pre-record readings of their stories. So, cause I want to do more recordings of their stories, and I want to do more streams where we read their stories together. But holy moly! Oh, is that for me, manager? Thank you. Thank you. You're so kind. She brought us a toy, everyone. Manager brought you all a toy. Chat says thank you, I bet. I think that they're really happy to have a toy manager. Okay, I'll come play with you in a minute, alright? I think that... let's see. We've been streaming for... just an hour. I want to stream a bit longer. Did you all hear her? Could you all hear manager coming in to talk to you? She's been in a very good mood lately. I want to get some of the yellow as well. Nick, hello! Welcome in, how are you doing? Good to see you! How's it going? Have you been taking good care of yourself, huh? Oh, I hear... You guys can't hear this, but just so you're aware, my cat came in and brought us a toy because she wants attention. And I told her, not right now, sweetie, I'm streaming. And I can hear her outside my room throwing water around. She knows that if she starts throwing the water out of her water bowl, I'll usually get up and go scold her. So she's trying to bait me, I think. She's trying to bait me. Don't worry though, I'll go play with her very soon. I want to, at the very least, get the eyes colored and do a little bit more of this yellow highlight. I'm still not being super detailed with this piece, and I feel like that's also a problem, but... Tapping the water bowl like a reception. She really is though. It's like a reception bell. She's trying to get me to come and play with her. I'll come play with her soon. She had been really enjoying watching what stream were we watching recently? We've been watching a lot of Fortnite. We went and we watched Narissa and Callie and Gigi and Herb play Fortnite, and she really liked it. Manager likes games that have like a character centered on the screen who has high contrast with the background. Those are her favorite games to watch. She like chases the characters around on the screen. Hello, welcome in, Serum! How are you doing? Nice to meet you. I don't think we've met before. My name is Sofiya Novelle. Soon to be Hoshino Inku. And we're doing a little bit of art today. We saw the movie that Geico used in their dog chase called Shadow... Ooh, how was it? It's always interesting watching old movies because you don't realize that... How do I say this? You don't realize how far our special effects have both come and slid back in time. You know? Sometimes old movies will have better effects than we do because they didn't have CGI, so they had to find practical ways to do things. And this isn't really a hot take. I'm not even gonna pretend. Sometimes old-fashioned physical effects, practical effects, are just better. You know, like maybe they limited what you could put on screen. Maybe they were a limitation, but sometimes they're just better because they were real physical things. And a physical thing looks real, you know? How long did it take you? Oh, the picture! I think we've been working on this one. We worked on it 2 hours last stream, and now we've been working on it for an hour. Like, for example, the Titanic is mostly physical, practical effects, which is crazy. The Titanic movie by James Cameron. And that's kind of why it holds up so well. And then... that's also why the Jurassic Park movies look so good, because I think a lot of the dinosaurs were animatronics, right? And it's just different when you have a physical thing interacting with the space. Just a lost art, I guess. The microphone that was used in game shows from the 70s and 80s, and 6 highway lights that you say from a scrap. A lot of TV shows and movies from the era. Yeah, that kind of stuff! Okay, you get it, you get it. It's also why I personally think that the Wicked movies looked really, really amazing. And I was trying to figure out, like, wow, why do these movies look so good? And apparently it's because they used a lot of physical sets and practical effects. Like, if you've watched Wicked, all the poppies in the opening. It's like the scene where some kids run through a field of, like, thousands of poppy flowers. And that's real. They actually planted thousands of poppy flowers for those kids to run through. So it's a real field. That's why it looks so good. Acting a whole movie on green screen is an amazing one-generation skill. I think that... like... I think that green screen was... it's a good idea for some things. But I feel like it's become over-relied on, you know? To the point that people use it to save money when they have the money to do it the old-fashioned way. For example, when you're watching a movie and they like green screened the house that they're standing in, right? You can tell. You look at it and you're like, something feels wrong here. What's going on? And it's because they green screened a house. And it's like, you couldn't make that physical set. You could have made the house set. It's not impossible. It makes more sense if you're like green screening a fantasy movie. And you're green screening... and you're green screening like a crazy fantasy environment. I'm like, okay, I get that, because that's harder to make physically. But when you watch something and you can tell that the house isn't real, it's like, okay. Okay. Yeah! I like old movies. I like looking at old effects. It's just so strange that... Well, not strange. We all know why it is. Part of the Caribbean. But... It's so sad that we've lost practical effects as like a common thing in movies. It's now rare. That sucks. Kit Harington from Game of Thrones probably wishes the dragons were practical effects. He caught part of himself in their bed. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have a lot of safety stuff for the practical effects for sure. Like I mean, famously, the witch in the original Wizard of Oz caught fire at one point. Because the practical effects for her fires weren't very well done. They were not safely done. Do I have a Discord? Yeah, we have a Discord. Hang on, let me get the Discord link. SOAPIA Discord. SOAPIA Discord. SOAPIA Discord. SOAPIA Discord. Sorry, bud. Discord. Sorry, bud. Discord. Sorry, bud. Discord. Here. There you go! But yeah, I think CGI is good in like small doses. My biggest like I said, my biggest problem with it is definitely anytime I'm watching a movie and you can tell that the house isn't real. That's my biggest pet peeve. When you're watching a movie and you're like, okay, you got a CGI house. And it looks bad. And I can tell that your characters, your actors, aren't in a real place and they don't know where to walk and like what to touch. That bothers me. Yeah, it can be really good or it can be really bad. It can get really, really bad. But that's also why a lot of old movies that have CGI don't really hold up anymore. Because I think that our tolerance for bad CGI has also like gone down over the years. As we've been introduced and, you know, become used to good CGI. It makes me sad in that sense. I get kind of sad, honestly, when I'm watching like an old movie with old CGI. And I'm like, oh, this looks awful. And I feel kind of sad because I'm like, there was a time when if you showed this to someone, they would have been like, holy moly, this is amazing. Wow. Technology is crazy. And now we look at it and we're like, what is this? And I don't know, it's kind of sad because it means that a newer generation is never going to experience that film or that TV show the same way as an older generation did. Like with some movies, the effects hold up, so even if you're watching it like 20 years later, you still watch it and you go, wow, that's a really cool effect that they did. That's really cool. But because, oh, I was trying to use an eraser, that explains everything. Like, the emotions will be the same when you're experiencing it 20 years later. And then you'll have a movie where, like, the CG is bad. And because the CG is bad, when people watch it, they don't go, oh, wow. Emotional response as intended by the creator. They go, that CG is bad. LOL, and it takes them out. And that's really sad, because I think that if someone goes to the trouble of making... Oh, fuck. Someone goes to the trouble of making a movie and putting their heart and soul into it, I think that that's an important thing to cherish. I don't know, I'm sounding so cheesy right now. But you know, the emotions that they put into it, I wish that they could be timeless as well. Could continue to resonate with people for hundreds of years in the same way that it did to them in the moment they made it. Like if you're watching a horror movie and the CG's bad and it's not scary anymore, it turns funny. I'm kind of like, oh, that's a little bit sad too, though, right? Because like, someone put a lot of effort into making that scary, and in the time it was scary, and now it's not. That's sad. I don't know. That's me getting weird about movies, though. I guess I'm kind of weird, huh? I just think the art is pretty neat. Guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think that art is pretty neat. I think that people who make art are pretty neat. Okay, I promise I'm almost done. I need to go soon. I know I need to go. I'm gonna try to end this quickly. We're gonna do a little bit more of the rendering on the face, but it's not looking great. We'll render the face a little bit more, and then I am going to go get some work done. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Another thing, sorry, I'm talking about the Wicked movie again. Another thing I noticed though was that the costumes in Wicked are very fascinating. The costume designer their choices for how to dress the munchkins are very interesting. The munchkins have like this beautiful knit crochet look to all their clothes. And I was watching a video about how the costume designs in... Oh, there was my phone. How the costume designs in the Wicked movie suggest like a booming economy because a lot of the costumes are asymmetrical. And this person was saying that the asymmetrical costumes imply wealth because in order to make something asymmetrical, you have to custom tailor it to not be symmetrical, which means that you have to lose a lot of fabric, and a lot of fabric goes to the wayside and gets wasted. And if you had, like, if you were in a society where there was a lack, you know, like if fabric was very expensive, you wouldn't have asymmetrical designs because you're wasting so much fabric to make them. It's wasteful. So I found that very interesting, that observation, that the fact that everything was asymmetrical meant that fabric was like easy to get. And yet, a big plot point in the Wicked movies... Hang on. A big plot point in the Wicked movies was that there was a famine happening, and that's why they don't like the animals. Plenty of sentient animals to apply materials. I guess that would have something to do with it, right? But yeah, it's very interesting that, like, this, despite that, there was the implication of a famine. Anyway. Interesting video. If I ever find it again, I should put it in the Discord. I should really use the Discord to put, like, all my weird video watches, huh? Sorry, Sato, I'm giving you pink eye for just a couple seconds. Bear with it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you! I will check the Discord. After chat. Okay, let's do very, very quick eye coloring. I need to go. This has been interesting though. I still don't feel like I've captured this rendering style. There's a lot that I still need to learn, and that's exciting to me. I kind of like that the way that this ended was, oh, I still got a lot to learn, because that means that I have a lot to look forward to. I'm not sure, Storybuds, do you want to try doing another image in this coloring style? Should we do another illustration in this style? Or should we move on to a different style? I think that there are merits to both because on one hand, cracking the code for this could be very fun, even if it takes us a long time. it could be a fun challenge. But at the same time, if we try to do a different coloring style, we might end up discovering the code. Anyway, you know, like, trying to do more styles, we might see something and be like, oh wait, what if we applied that to the other style? You've been analyzing colors this whole time, haven't figured it out. Yeah, me neither. I wonder if what would help us is if, for our next color study stream, what if we did a different card in the same set? Because... Here, I'll pull them up. I'm sorry, you have to look at those creepy eyes for a little bit longer. Let me find the other cards again. But because... all of those cards that we saw... even though their color palettes are quite different... between this and this... and this... and this... even though... the colors are a little bit different... clearly... they have some sort of unifying principle. Like, everything about them is incredibly different, and yet... something is unifying them. So maybe if we tried... to study one of the other cards... in the process of figuring out that card, we'll find out what matches up with this one? Maybe that would be a good approach. Cause like there's clearly something going on. Alright, I'm listening. You can find the direct light and ambient color by looking at the white objects like the shoes. Oh, that's a good point, yeah. The shadow part of the shoes is purple. Yeah! Not only is it purple, the shadow, but also... the lines turn purple. Yeah, okay, you got a good point there. Interesting. Interesting. The blending layer appears to be color blurring, which shifts saturation without darkening much. Oh! Wow, you put a lot of thought into this, thank you! There's all high brightness with most shifts in saturation to hint at shadows and light. Interesting. Huh. Maybe I will try another one then. The colors shift from yellow to purple as it gets darker instead of actually getting darker. Do you suppose that they could accomplish that with a gradient map? Might they have used a gradient map that was purple to yellow instead of white, black to white? Uh-oh. 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 That's not Umineko. That's not Umineko. I don't think we've been playing Umineko for a while now. think that I'm going to... I need to start ending this. I need to start finishing up. Ah, I just want to draw forever. I just want to do art forever. Are we sure I can't just do art forever? What if art forever? No, you can't art forever. You do have to stop. Have some self-control! I can't. Okay. No burning out allowed, but what if... Okay, I'll come back to this later. I'll do more later. Okay. Okay, try more art later. Do more art later. Okay. Okay. Thank you for joining me, everyone! Thank you! We got a lot done! Good experiment day! I feel pretty accomplished. What about you? But, unfortunately, I do have to go. So, thank you again so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for drawing alongside me. I didn't fully crack the code, but I'm gonna take the advice that Icy gave me and I'm gonna try again. We'll try again. We'll do a different picture this time. I'll draw something new. But, click, click, click. Okay. Until next time, everyone, I'm heading out. Let me double check my schedule. Tomorrow! It's tomorrow, right? No, not tomorrow. Over the weekend. I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow or Friday necessarily. I have a job I have to go do. But if I get it done early, if I get my work done early, maybe we'll do a gorilla stream. But on Saturday, we're gonna do some karaoke. And on Sunday, we're getting back into our shiny lock. Back into shiny hunting. So join me for hell. I look forward to seeing you for some hell. But in the meantime, I'm gonna head out. Thank you again so much for being here. Hope you've been taking good care of yourselves. You know the rules! I would assume. Right? Rule number 1, you have to be kind to yourself. Actually, we did them all backwards. Well, that's the most important one. Also, remember to hydrate. Remember to stretch. And remember to subscribe to Hoshino Inku. That'll be my new account starting April the 10th. And also, if you would be so kind, please make a funny noise sometime. 4 egg example. In honor of Umineko Music, we're gonna go ooh, ooh. Bye everyone. Take care. Bye 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 bye. Ooh.